Hello and welcome to Films from the Archive, The Changing High Street. My name's Catherine and I'm part of the team at the M&S Company Archive. Although this is pre-recorded, I'm online during this premiere showing for any questions that you type in the comments box. We have over 900 films in the archive collection, from short adverts to long training films, and it would take about 5 weeks of solid viewing to see everything. So we've selected some highlights showing developments in UK high streets, thinking about high streets as the heart of our communities, not just for the goods customers need or for retail jobs. We're sharing several of these clips for the first time, so I won't do too much talking. I'll let the films tell their own story. I'm afraid we don't have any film footage of our very earliest Penny Bazaar market stalls or small shops, but you'll see that I've selected some films that do reference these. We're starting with a clip from a cinema advert from the late 1950s, by which time all of our stores were in smart high street premises and featured distinctive green and gold Marks & Spencer signage. So let's join Gloria on her shopping trip.
What a lovely morning. Just right for shopping. It's Jim's birthday next week. I'll buy him a sweater from Marks & Spencer. They look nice. All on. I'll have a look. I always like shopping at Marks & Spencer. Clean, bright, such pleasant service.
Manchester was one of many locations to see significant store development in the 1960s, and this film includes a nice recap of earlier M&S premises in the city too.
Yes, but I was rather lucky. I was invited along to the special preview just before the store was opened.
Good morning, Lady Barnett.
Good morning.
How nice of you to come along.
I'm delighted to be here. It's been marvelous.
Yes.
So much room to move about.
And we've another sales floor, which you will see later on. In fact, this store is twice the size of the old store.
So you've room for lots of new things.
Oh, yes, indeed. For the first time in Manchester, we're able to show the complete range of St. Michael clothes and foods.
And are you open all day Saturday?
Yes, every Saturday, and in fact 6 full days a week.
Oh, that's very useful. Ah, knitwear. Now, that's something I do know about, because a lot of this is made near where I live. And the quality of it is so very well known. What a fine selection.
These are in wool, and among the man-made fibers, there's Brylon and All-On in lots of new styles.
Yes, what I like about Marks & Spencer's is that every time I come in, they've always got something new.
Yes.
Those are new, surely.
Yes, they are.
I'd no idea you'd such good-looking footwear. What a splendid display of dresses. I see lots of them are wash and wear.
Yes, there's Courtel, Trisel jersey, and Trisel foulard.
You know, I do think these designs are most attractive. And in such good taste.
Yes, our designers visit the fashion centers of the world.
Really?
Paris, Rome, New York. They bring back ideas which we incorporate in St. Michael clothes.
That means you're always up to date. Ah, matching separates. Oh, isn't that gay? That'd be perfect for a holiday. Over 65 years in Manchester.
The original Penny Bazaar, Stretford Road, in 1896. The bazaar at 60 Oldham Street in 1898. the old warehouse in Derby Street in 1901. The bazaar in Regent Road, Salford, 1902. Bazaar in Stockport Road, Levenshulme, 1915. The bazaar in Oldham Street, 1925. Our old store, which opened in 1931 and now makes way for the new store.
Isn't that a wonderful story? It's more than just an ordinary success story. It's a picture of a very real and great social change. Because what Marks and Spencers have done over the years is to make it possible for everybody to be really well dressed and to buy food of a quality and freshness you can be sure of.
I'm afraid it's not great quality footage, but here's the opening of our Belfast store in 1967.
(1884). The first penny bazaar and the beginning of the Marks and Spencer reputation for quality, value and service. 1967. Newcastle, Croydon, Newport, Brighton and all over the country, Marks and Spencer have developed into the store you know today. And now, Belfast. Marks and Spencer have built a new store in Northern Ireland. In the true Marks and Spencer tradition, nothing has been left to chance. Everything is completely ready to be at your service. A magnificent, spacious store in the heart of town, and it opens tomorrow. Here at last, you can buy the full range of St. Michael goods. A new experience in shopping. Shop at your leisure, comfortably, economically. Choose from the widest possible range. Clothes for all the family. Are you shopping for fashion? Shopping for quality? Then buy St. Michael, the brand name of Marks and Spencer. In many departments, you'll find clothes made here in Northern Ireland. Over 15,000 local craftsmen know already the quality standards that lie behind the St. Michael label. Visit the spacious food section on the lower sales floor. Here you can buy foods famous for freshness. Biscuits, cakes, canned foods, vegetables, fruit, specially selected and graded, and provisions. You'll find that many St. Michael foods are fresh each day. Quick, easy service in spotlessly clean surroundings. Top quality, and it costs no more. All St. Michael from Marks and Spencer. Marks and Spencer, modern shopping starts here. Donegal Place, Belfast, tomorrow.
Today was last Thursday, and by 8 o'clock there was quite a few people waiting to be first in when the doors open. What are you going to buy when you go into the store?
Well, I'm going to buy some for the 2 grandson, you see, and look around the food stuff.
To most people, the name St. Michael means high quality and good value.
It's very good. It's a perfect fit.
Satisfied with the quality of it?
Very satisfied, yes.
Been to Marks and Spencer before?
Yes, in London.
In London.
I think the stuff's
I'm being very
good.
rude. What else have you got there?
This is a Shetland wool man's cardigan.
And children's knitwear that is both pretty and practical.
I've been waiting some time for this store coming,
turn it over.
especially for children. These sorts of things, tights and schoolwear especially, I find them terrific value.
What is the price?
$29.11. Well, it's good nylon, isn't it?
Yes.
So I think it's very good.
I know.
Oh, it's very good. So it is. I have shopped, you see, in Marks and Spencer's in London.
Yes.
Aye.
What are they selling those for?
They're 32 and 11.
32 and 11?
Yes, they're long size, you see.
One thing is certain. They know a good thing when they see it.
There's good quality.
Are you going to come back to Marks and Spencer?
Oh, yes.
Regularly?
Oh, yes.
Been
I
around
have a
before?
blouse on 2 years of me.
Really?
There's one there, St. Michael. It's at the back.
And how does that compare with other stores in Belfast?
Well, with the quality of it, I would say very good indeed.
Go better with the outfit.
They're very nice and very stylish and very
On the lower sales floor, we have the St. Michael food section. Many of the foods are fresh each day. What do you think of this food section?
marvellous. It's lovely.
Can you just answer me one question? If I say to you, Marks and Spencer, what does it mean to you?
Quality.
Well, the people of Belfast seem to be pretty with their new Marks and Spencer store. Why don't you come along and see the new store for yourself? Marks and Spencer, gonna go place fast.
This next clip comes from a 1977 training film which was part of a campaign to reduce theft, and it opens with an interesting look at a typical late 1970s high street featuring gone but not forgotten retail names.
They're for you. Those ones? These for you.
They're for the boys, they're for the girls. They want
Do you want them in your own bag? So? Oh, what size dress are you? That's a 40, 43.
very light.
How pretty those, aren't they? £2.63, please.
Have you heard from Jimmy then?
Got a letter Saturday.
Oh, lucky old thing.
Please, please, thank you. That's £5.50 and £3.30. That's £8.80 altogether. £8.80. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. Thank you. Is that £9? £8.80, £8.90, £9. Thanks very much.
Oh, do you close at 5 or 5:30?
5:30, madam.
Okay.
Fine. Bye.
This 1982 film, Helping Hand, takes a look at our high streets at a very difficult time. Recession, high unemployment and inner-city rioting the previous year in cities across England. The film goes on to show direct action initiatives that M&S is involved with in local communities, but I just thought that the first few minutes of this film are a really interesting watch.
Today's problems of recession, inflation and high unemployment are beyond the remedies and resources of government alone. Many leading companies have recognized the urgent need for industry to become involved in helping to restore and regenerate the community. This film is an insight into the activities of one company, Marks and Spencer, and its involvement in community projects. The combined effect of inner-city decay and an almost overwhelming sense of despair and frustration among unemployed youth in many cities was dramatically illustrated in the riots of St Paul's, Bristol, Toxteth and Moss Side. here in Brixton, as Philip Morris, the manager of the local Marks & Spencer, recalls.
The first indication that anything was going wrong was a lot of police activity in the high street. We saw lots of police cars moving very quickly, going into the market area, which is down Atlantic Road, which is just directly opposite the store. Then we saw one of the police cars reversing very quickly back down to the junction of the high street. And within another few seconds, that car had been overturned and set on fire. Another police car was overturned. So within a very short space of time, we had 2 cars burning fiercely with pools of black smoke everywhere. It was really very frightening. Panic set in. We managed to lock the doors, and the catering unit was very quickly turned into a nursery because they were mainly women with children who were the most frightened. What we did was to organize groups of people who could leave the store together much later when it quietened down. And in addition, some of our contractors were here in the store, and they very kindly offered lifts to many of the people. My feelings the day after the riot happened were very emotional. When you walked around the high street and looked at the damage that had been caused, it was just like it was after a bomb had hit. It was all very depressing. I felt determined to try to do something to regenerate the community and get Brixton back to its former glory. We've got a lot of long-term staff in the store. Many of them have done 25 years and more, and many of them have told me that it used to be a treat on a Saturday afternoon to come with their parents for tea in Brixton, and that's the type of image that we want to get back to.
This internal film from 1985 explains the need for more floor space and the different strategies being used in tandem to achieve this, including the new experiment of edge-of-town retail developments.
£480 million is committed over the next 2 years for the expansion and modernisation of our business. The total planned capital investment programme will amount to £1.5 billion over the next 5 years. Footage expansion is the major priority, and we intend to open more than 500,000 square feet of selling space a year for the duration of the 5-year expansion programme. This will be done by means of conventional construction, conversion of existing space, and the development of satellite and edge-of-town sites. Conventional construction involves the purchase of property next to an existing site, for example, our Premier store in Oxford Street, or building a brand new store. The second method of footage expansion is by converting existing storage areas and releasing them as selling space. The most recent example of this is Air, and the floor plan shows how the footage has been incorporated. Conversions continue, as you can see from this map, which shows the extent and scale of the program. The third strand of the footage extension program is satellites, which have considerable potential. They will be within close walking distance of our main stores and be easy to convert and operate. The first, Coppergate in York, was a success. Huddersfield is a second example, shown here on a plan of the town centre in relation to the main store. We have identified several towns where satellites could be opened, and these are being progressed, including Princes Street, Edinburgh, and Oxford Street, opposite our Marble Arch store. The edge-of-town development is the most entrepreneurial part of the development strategy. We are confident of its success, despite the relatively unknown territory. There's no conflict with Marks & Spencer's continuing commitment to the High Street, as these developments are complementary. Edge-of-town shopping recognizes the changing consumer shopping patterns and considerable opportunities that exist in certain locations to offer a wider range of merchandise to the car-borne shopper. The first experiment after Brent Cross, now 10 years old, is the Metro Centre in Gateshead. The American Mall-style development covers some 150 acres and houses a wide range of shops and facilities in a complex 1/3 of a mile long. Our store, scheduled for opening in 1986, will be 89,000 square feet on one floor. It gives tremendous scope to experiment and presents an exciting prospect for the near future.
Sorry about the music with this one.
Marks & Spencer is a household name in the United Kingdom. The company was founded over 100 years ago and now has over 280 stores in the United Kingdom and the Republic of Ireland. Millions of people shop in Marks & Spencer's UK stores every day. To them, the name Marks & Spencer means products of the highest quality and outstanding value. That's why they shop at M&S. On a typical day, the company's largest store at London's Marble Arch will attract 50,000 customers. Marks & Spencer's business is firmly rooted in the high streets of Britain's towns and cities, and these are complemented by smaller neighbourhood stores and larger edge-of-town stores. Marks & Spencer is the only retailer to offer a range of quality clothing, foods and home furnishings under one roof. Everything is sold under the company's brand name, St. Michael. Each store is designed to create an attractive, well-laid-out shopping environment that offers the highest standard of customer care. Marks & Spencer began in the 1880s with Michael Marks, an immigrant from Russia. He started trading from a market stall in Leeds in the north of England. At that time, he didn't speak much English, so he put up a sign which said, "Don't ask the price, it's a penny." In the early days, he was reliant on his English-speaking staff, so he set out to give them the best possible pay and working conditions. Staff responded to this, and they, in turn, offered a friendly and helpful service to customers. One of the suppliers he worked with was Dewhurst, and the bookkeeper was Tom Spencer. In 1894, they went into partnership together as Marks & Spencer. The combination of intuitive shopkeeping skills and prudent management worked, and they began to acquire new shops, but only if they could acquire them outright or on very long leases. 100 years later, the majority of UK stores are wholly owned by the company. Michael Marks understood that while price was important, quality and value for money were what customers really wanted. The business grew. Michael's son Simon and his lifelong friend Israel Seif came to realize that suppliers, staff, stores and the communities in which they traded were all connected, and that each could and should benefit from the other. Those principles still apply today.
M&S remained committed to high street trading, and this film was part of a push to promote investment.
Over the last few decades, many town centres have been changed beyond recognition by traffic levels that have turned traditional and pleasant marketplaces into uncomfortable and unattractive landscapes. Over the years, Marks & Spencer have collected evidence, worked to encourage best practices, and been involved in a wide variety of successful schemes designed to improve such areas. We do not pretend to have all the answers, but we do have a lot of useful experience. Pedestrianisation is one effective method of arresting this decline and markedly improving our town centres. The centre of a town should be its social and commercial heart. It should be a thriving environment, shaped to meet the everyday needs of the community. Above all, it should be designed for people. A series of spaces in which people feel comfortable, involved, part of the society around them. When those people's needs are ignored, they desert the town centre. And then the familiar cycle of vandalism and decay becomes inevitable. When a town centre loses its heart, there are likely to be reasons. Poor or non-existent post-war planning. Too much planning, particularly in the enthusiastic 60s. Too little or too much effort devoted to coping with motor vehicles. Raised commercial rents. Competition from retailing ideas no longer based on the town centre as the natural marketplace. Whatever the combination of reasons for decline, there will be one common outcome. The town centre will no longer provide the service the community seeks. In an environment that is both accessible and comfortable.
Some 20 years ago, the traffic levels in town had grown to such an extent that many of our shopping streets were more like arterial highways than areas for pedestrians to use. And so the various towns sought to take the traffic out and put them into bypass roads and to reorganise the space in the towns so that our main streets, our main commercial areas could be used for the pedestrians rather than for vehicles. We're very much aware of what was happening in the United States, where the traffic literally did dominate the towns. The result there was that we had big suburban shopping centres created, and the town centres went into very serious decline. And it's only in the recent past 5 years that in the centre of the big American cities we're having a regeneration of those. And I think we would have seen the same here. One finds an area which the pedestrian begins to use as the old town square was used in times gone by. And the shopping environment is so much more attractive that we begin to see a regeneration of shopping usage. Shops begin to increase their turnover and the whole town centre becomes far more buoyant, and it provides a taking off point for more development.
There are a number of different planning responses to town centre decline, and where they are being put into action successfully, they are changing the face and the spirit of towns and suburban areas around the country. Amongst these, there is the shopping precinct, a number of different shops gathered together undercover within the town centre. And there is the pedestrianised centre, where the old town centre road plan is changed to make traffic flow around the centre, and the central streets are paved over and devoted exclusively to pedestrians. Pedestrianisation is essentially a commitment to maximising the resources of the existing central streets of a town. The best of the existing buildings are maintained, and attractive modern ones can be added. Pedestrianisation also involves the effective management of traffic in the town. Good car parking provision is essential to the development, and attractive, accessible parking at the right price for shoppers as well as for office workers and commuters will help to ensure that the social and commercial benefits of the project are maximised.
Today, we have to remember that shopping is shopping for pleasure, and that the spaces in our towns and cities have to be shared by all members of the public. The most important architectural principle to remember when considering pedestrianisation schemes is that there is no one solution. Each town and city is unique, and each demands its own individual design approach.
Harrow is a thriving business and commuter suburban centre on the outer edge of northwest London. It has chosen pedestrianisation as the most appropriate way of modernising and upgrading the main shopping streets of the centre of the town. When completed, Harrow will have a linked series of well-designed, attractive spaces at its centre, created specifically for the people of the area. the actual process of constructing the pedestrian precinct does present problems. Streets are inevitably blocked off. Traffic flows are altered and disrupted. Pavements are dug up and replaced. And for some time, the town centre can appear like a construction site, with inconvenience for those that the scheme is ultimately meant to benefit.
Didn't affect.
Tunbridge Wells in Kent has had a pedestrianised centre for some years. Access is good, parking convenient, it is well lit and well kept. There are litter bins and seating for shoppers. It is an environment that has been created with the needs of the people of the town uppermost.
Pedestrianisation has got to work, both for the traders and for the customers. And so the first thing that the council looks to see is that we can get rear servicing to all the shops. Secondly, that we can allow the traffic to flow through the traffic system and we can lose the capacity that this road provides. We evolved a series of paving materials that it was felt would not only be attractive but would be safe and acceptable to the pedestrian. Pedestrianisation has added to the attractiveness of Tunbridge Wells as a shopping centre. It's now safe, we think, for the pedestrian to come here, to move freely through the precinct. If they have children with them, they don't have to worry about them being run over or anything like that.
My grandchildren and that, I mean, you don't have to watch. It's quite so bad, do you? You can let them go and have them a little run and things, and you haven't got to worry about the traffic either behind you or wherever, have you?
Absolutely, 100%. Everybody enjoys it. You can see they sit down here on a Sunday afternoon and it's nice to amble through, especially for the old people too.
A pedestrianised project that works effectively brings people into the town centre. It becomes a thriving marketplace again. This, in turn, provides the stimulus for further investment by the retailers. The major stores increase floor space and their range of goods, and so enhance the shopping environment for their customers. The improvements outside in the precinct are matched inside the stores. Pedestrianisation is one possible solution to the problems of town centre decay. But it is a process that requires careful research and detailed planning to be effective. Each town is different, and each needs a sympathetic and appropriate treatment to meet its needs. With imaginative planning, consultation between all the interested groups, and proper consideration of the issues, the regeneration of town centres through pedestrianisation is achievable. The result is a thriving and more pleasing environment for the benefit of the whole community.
Compared to many of our competitors, we have lots of older stores that are difficult to adapt for today's customers, and it's been well reported that to address this, we're closing or relocating some stores, which we know impacts the communities involved. Where there are closures, we work hard to do it in the right way, but we're also investing in relocations, flagship store improvements, and our digital capability to make sure customers can shop at M&S easily with better choice, value and service. This next clip is from the 2019 St Helens store relocation.
I do recall when I was a little tiny girl, I used to come in here with my mother, and all the little girls' things had a label St Margaret's, and all the little boys' things were St Michael's.
Like I said, I worked here 34 years ago, and I've known lots and lots of lads, women, good friends, made a lot of good friends.
I'm just sorry to see the store go, really. But I know, we've got to move on, and the store's not getting any younger, they're building itself.
We all know the closure of a store is an emotional subject for our customers and our colleagues, and closing St Helens was no different.
I think what we can say though is we were proud to serve in that store for nearly 90 years.
At the moment, retail in the town centre isn't really working. You don't necessarily always get what you need from the people that we get here, which are, you know, very small baskets, sort of little and often, not even that often anymore.
Going into the new building, I think it's going to be a really good fresh start for all of us and for customers as well.
We announced almost 12 months ago now that we would be relocating from the High Street onto the retail park, which is obviously a huge thing for the team that have worked there, some of them up to 50 years. So we've spent a lot of time with the team almost getting that mindset in place of what New World M&S would look like and how we would play that a part in that transformation.
Yesterday's opening was just one of the most inspiring days I've seen in retail.
Since we've been here, it's just been amazing. We've seen lots of new customers already. We're only on our second day.
When I first walked in, I was just overwhelmed. It's just a massive store, so it felt really good to walk in and say I work here.
The enthusiasm from everybody has been brilliant.
The relocation to Ravenhead is a great example of the store estate programme. It's meeting modern customer needs with 1,000 car park places, really convenient mother and child and disabled parking, and an estate that operates the right hours that customers want to shop with Marks and Spencer's.
Came yesterday for opening day, which we really enjoyed, bought a couple of bits. We've popped back today to change a dress for my daughter for another size, as I said, because it's so accessible, it's really easy, there's free parking, so we came back.
It's bigger, it's newer, it's nicer, it's more vibrant.
I think the cafe is excellent, and the link between the staff, the old staff, and the new place just adds value.
We'll be regular customers now, yes, yeah.
We'll end with an archive for the future on how the pandemic
I've been
has
using
changed
Pick&Collect
shopping.
for everything. It's just so convenient.
I've been living in loungewear during lockdown, so I'm really excited to refresh my wardrobe.
I've started paying for my shopping on my mobile just because it's so easy.
The way we shop has changed a lot during lockdown, so M&S has been changing too. We're here for our customers online, and now that our clothing and home stores are opening again, we're here for you in store as well, with amazing new services and products that will help you shop your way. As we step into summer, you can breathe new life into your wardrobe. We know that what you're wearing might have changed, so we've introduced more casual pieces to our range, as well as great spring-summer products for those first social occasions in your diary. And our bra fitting service is back, with our expert fitters on hand to offer safe and contactless service and advice. But we'll also be there for you at home, as you can now book a free and easy online bra fit appointment or an online consultation with our beauty or furniture experts at M&S.com. When you're with us in store, we've made paying quicker and easier, making our checkout free scan and shop service available in every food hall and introducing our new on-the-spot Pay With Me service to over 200 stores so you can beat the queues. Plus, with Click and Collect, you can shop online for free next day delivery from M&S stores, including our food stores, and enjoy easy, hassle-free returns. So whatever works for you, we're here to help you shop your way with confidence, with everything you know and love about M&S, plus a little bit extra.
Thank you for watching. Our next Films from the Archive online event focuses on sun, sea and sand. It promises to be good summer viewing no matter what the weather's doing. See our website for details.